Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I love it when I find something is better than something else. Like I feel excited, like it was a find. It was a big deal. Well, today it's CBD. And what makes it different? It's hydroponically grown. And Jacob Jeske is the guy that does that. He's with the Purple Nugget, and he's back with us with some more insight on CBD. Hey, Jacob, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Steve. How you doing today?
Good. So I see you're drinking tea. Is there CBD in your tea?
There actually is. There's my own little creation of CBD tea. It's not on the market yet, so it's still kind of in the whole testing rounds, but I really like it. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
That's super cool that you could just come up with ideas, involving CBD, because that is really your life, hemp and CBD and hydroponics, and then just come up with different concoctions. Hey, let me try this. What about this? Let me see if this works.
That's what I like the most about me, actually. I mean, just being the grower that I am just allows me to have different avenues, just try different things. We're like looking at a honey rosin. So instead of trying like a CBD tea, we're making like a CBD honey, and maybe we could just add that to your tea. But once again, we're watching our sugar content as always. So,
Well, ever since you told me about the amount of sugar that goes into gummies, I've been telling everybody that. It was a mind blow, and that was one of the reasons that you said for your company, the Purple Nugget, you guys don't do gummies just because of the amount of sugar that goes in there. It went against your grain because you want to do something that's healthy, and having too much sugar really isn't.
Yeah, it really did. It really was a lot of sugar. I mean, people are trying to take CBD to help them sleep. I really didn't see how taking all that sugar before bedtime was going to help anybody.
Yep.
I'm glad. Actually, at the farmers market last week, I turned on quite a few people that I same idea actually. So I'm glad we brought it up.
Yeah, and there's other ways to get it done, and even faster with a tincture, a couple of drops underneath your tongue, and that could typically be the better route for you when you're taking your dosage of CBD.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the tincture. It's kind of something I'm going to talk about a little bit today. The tincture is a great way to take CBD on a daily basis without changing up any type of regimens. The amount of CBD is in there is just great for the amount of the body that they need for the endocannabinoids to actually work out. The endocannabinoids is actually like a system that scientists are researching to find inside of our body. We have a natural endocannabinoid that's actually receiving CBD and needs it on a daily basis. I believe that the endocannabinoid system is actually connected to the nervous system and just about every artery and every part of our body. So by taking that CBD, it just readily keeps all of our organs, all of our muscles, just kind of that at ready state a little bit, and also helps rejuvenate them over time.
Let's rewind on that, because I think a lot of people are unfamiliar with that, and the fact that we have endocannabinoids in our body,
Correct.
which loosely connected to CBD, and really what you're doing is just feeding your body what it really needs. I'm not the expert here, but maybe that's also stimulating your system to work better.
It really is. I mean, there's a lot of research online, and I definitely push people to do their own research as always. There's just so much of it out there that definitely points to the right direction of how helpful CBD is, not only healthy wise, but how just naturally our body needs it every day.
And it's funny you say every day. That's where I made my CBD mistake. I made two mistakes. So I'm always fully honest, fully transparent. I'll share everything. So I started taking it to sleep better. Like just stay asleep. I could fall asleep, but I didn't stay asleep.
Right.
So out of the gate, I took too much in terms of the dosage. I think I did like a 50 milligram gummy, and it was too much. Yeah, look at your face. You're like, whoa, because I didn't know, and it wasn't anything bad. I should have taken like half of that out of the gate. And what happened? I woke up kind of groggy the next day. Was it a bad thing? No, it's just like really mellow. But I wanted to move things faster along and just get a good night's sleep. So I cut the dosage back. The other mistake I made was that I only take it every couple of days. Like I figure, all right, it's been like 3 days. I got to get a good night's sleep tonight. Let me take CBD. And it was working, but it wasn't working that great until I started taking it every single day. So to your point, you got to take it every day. And that's not like a sales pitch. That's the way it works.
It's just really the way it works. You really do got to feed those cannabinoid receptors every day in order to really be that effective. We got clients that will, like I think I even said that last episode. He was like, I didn't know how well it was working until I stopped taking it, and then I realized how much it was really helping my body throughout the whole entire month that he was taking it. Some people do report that they take too much CBD. I always recommend go at it slowly. Just slowly take them a little bit and see how that affects you, and then kind of build up, to your own amounts. I think one full vial under the tongue, either in the afternoon or even at nighttime. I'm getting more and more reports that people are taking the oil before dinner to help them sleep, actually. So I guess there really is a little bit of a change of the body on when or where you take it. But across the board, they are saying that one vial or maybe even two vials is more than enough that they'll ever need throughout the day.
And what you just said is a really good friend of mine. Her name is Laura, and she texted me the same thing you just said about a week ago. She goes, "Remember, I was talking about CBD, and I just realized that I don't feel as good since I stopped taking it." And she was taking it for muscle aches, some chronic fatigue, just always being tired, and now
Yeah.
she's back on it and feels better. And just what you said, you don't realize it until you're not taking it.
Right. Yeah, and there's a lot of different reasons why people take CBD. I was at the farmers market this last Saturday, and I had a new client come up to me, and it was kind of a little bit of a different approach because we had a crowd that was kind of listening to us talk about CBD and the benefits of it, and she was kind of listening, but I could see her kind of standing off from the crowd a little bit, and she'd been waiting for the whole crowd to die out a little bit. So I knew she had some dire question she wanted to ask me, and
Mm.
as soon as like the crowd kind of died off, she came over and she just like, Jake, I've really been listening to you. It's like, and that, I think CBD is really beneficial for all those things. She's like, but I just find myself being a bitch every once in a while, and I just need to like relax a little bit and change my attitude. And I had to stop myself from laughing. I just went, here you go. I was like, just take this, take two of these, and I'll come back in a half hour and see how you feel.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the farmers market's like 8 hours, and like before the end of the day, she was working one of the markets further down. She came over and said, Jake, she's like, I really do feel like it helps me just,
Wow.
just give it a little bit of a second before I react, just to kind of think about what I'm going to say a little bit. And so,
Yeah.
everybody takes them for different reasons. So I didn't mean to use any borrowed language, but that was quoting what she said to me. So,
There's nothing wrong. Hey, you know what? We got to change the label. No bitch in a box. There it is. We're
oh,
gonna
no,
new marketing tactic we have here. But yeah, we all get that way, and it just takes the edge off. That's it. You're just like, I can
right.
feel now. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, and it's interesting. That's probably one of the things that people don't realize. We just think sleep, anxiety, stress, blah blah. All of those. Muscle aches, muscle pain, whatever it might be. But just a clearer mind, just a better feeling of well-being comes
Right.
from CBD. And I forget that. And I think, I'm pretty even keel, but you know what? I probably should be taking more, and just like days probably would go better. I probably would, have a little less stress, less worry about certain things. And just like, and it's not like I want to get this out here too, Jake, and I know you're going to agree. It's not like you're in like this high fog where you're like, yeah, man, everything's good. I got no worries. Yeah. It's not like that at all. It's not like
No,
marijuana.
no. What CBD is actually it's just like the sativa non-psychoactive family side of marijuana. There's no psychological effect of it, as I want to say. There's no high, as we've said before.
Yep.
But as far as like the well-being, you almost have to kind of like take it to kind of know what I'm talking about a little bit, because you can think like you said, hey, I'm a great guy. I'm always even keel. Nothing ever bothers me. Try a little bit of CBD and see how much better you could be. I mean, it really is kind of like a little bit of a wonder where once you start taking it, I mean, it just seems like you're in overall in a happier mood, and kind of think about how that builds up throughout your day. I mean, if you could take every little part of your day that upset you, like while you're at work, while you're driving to work, while you're driving home to work, all those little things and all those like little chances you had to make a better choice or a worse choice. Sometimes when you come home at the end of the day, it's like, man, it's like I'm not that you're a horrible person, but like you just made like the negative decision all day instead of like being the positive decision every day. So when you come home, when you make positive decisions all day, that reflects kind of like who you are a little bit at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Kind
glad
of
you said that. What you said was like crystal clear. And it's, it's not like you're going to walk through the day in a fog. It's just a better sense of well-being. And probably the most important thing is finding the right dosage. Where you're
Yeah.
at that point. What would you suggest for just what we're talking about? Let's say you don't have any real, any issues, emotional, physical, things, pretty cool, but you just want to, go even keel.
Yeah.
Um, what would your starting point be? What would you suggest?
I would just get the CBD, the dropper that we have, the tincture, and I would just start with one dropper under your tongue. Just start it off in the morning and see where that goes with you. I think that's a great way to start off on a CBD experience.
And what's the dosage on one drop from that
But
particular?
it's one full. I think one full vial is 1 milliliter, so it'd be like 1 milliliter of the CBD tincture.
And how would that translate? I'm the worst with all of that. How would that translate to, let's say, milligrams? Can you do that? Is that even possible?
The milliliters to like it'd probably be like 0.25 milligrams if I had, because if you were to take, there's about 1 gram, so it'd be 28 divided by 1, so that would be point 0.25. You're 0.025 or 0.25. You're making me do math on the spot. Oh no.
You're way past me. I'm the worst at math. I can't even figure out
I'm trying to convert it. I know that 30 milliliters typically weighs out to be about 28 grams. And if you were to take 28 grams and I put 1 gram inside of it, so take 100 or 1,000 milligrams and divide that by 28, I think would be how many
Well,
milligrams is in
all
it.
right. Loosely looking at this, let's say somebody's going to take a gummy. So they have that versus the gummy.
Yeah.
They're going to take that gummy. How many milligrams would that gummy be?
Not as much as what's in my tincture, and that's like, I see where you're getting with this, because I've done the testing for it, and like, no, that's great, yeah, because I think what you're saying is that there's more CBD in this versus like one tincture versus like one gummy.
The
Now,
perception.
not only is it about twice as much CBD, I can't say that because I don't know how much is in the gummy that you're taking, but perceptionally wise, you're getting twice the amount in this, and then you're getting zero sugar, and you're getting some of the cleaner CBD that's on the market. I mean, that's just something that we really got to step back to. Anybody can claim they have CBD, and how they extract it and how they grow it is the most important thing. I mean, having a cleaner hydroponically grown plant and extract that higher, cleaner, more potent resin, and you put that resin inside a product, I guess all those little figures got to be put in the math too. So,
Yep. Yep. And you know what I've often heard is that with gummies, depending on the company, but more times than not, you don't know what you're getting because they're mixing it with a whole bunch of different stuff. That is the best way to go. So let's call it the purple nugget. It's just better. It's just better because it's hydroponically grown. You watch everything that goes into that product. I mean, that is probably, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the purest form that you can get if you're going to do CBD?
it's the purest form you can get for sure. I mean, there is definitely different ways to extract it, and there's definitely high end ways to extract it. But we use one of the not one of the oldest methods, one of the highest recommended methods to extract it. Not only the safest, but I mean, just get the most potent out of it. I mean, it's a full spectrum extraction for sure. But yeah.
What does that tincture taste like?
It doesn't taste like gummy bears. It doesn't taste like strawberries. The only thing I put in it is my extracted coconut oil and then my CBD oil. So it does taste organically. Nobody says it tastes bad. I just warn people because there's so much stuff out there. I think people are just used to everything tasting like a Cinnabon these days. To me, I like the organic taste of things. So, I mean, that's what it tastes like. But Steve, I really need to send you one. In fact, before this is over, I need to get your address. I gotta send you one of these. You gotta try it for yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I'm one of those people that I'll eat and take anything. I don't really care about the flavor. Like I know people like I'll have protein bars. Well, I can't take that. It tastes like medicine. Blah blah blah. I don't care if it works and it's good. So what? And even with that product, you're not taking it for pleasurable taste. It's just under your tongue and done. That's it.
I care about what things taste like, and I think it tastes okay. It
Okay.
doesn't
All right.
taste bad, but I just know some people are like, "Where's the Cinnabon flavor?" You
That's
know, and I just didn't do that. No additives or anything like
that.
that.
As long as it doesn't taste like clam juice, I'm okay.
Oh, it doesn't taste like clam juice. I've never had anybody complain about the flavor of it by any means.
Wow. Well, it is cool that you do add, a coconut flavoring to it.
Well, that's actually just the coconut oil. That's just like
Okay.
the main base of it. So it's like, yeah, it's like coconut oil with the CBD oil.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Because the reason why you kind of have to cut it down like that is that once you extract the CBD, you extract the THC with it, and therefore you have a higher concentration of THC and CBD. So therefore you got to like use the coconut oil, not only because nobody needs to be taking 5 grams of CBD every day. So it kind of helps you break it down to that smaller doses,
Mhm.
and also I mean coconut oil is pretty healthy too.
Yep. In small doses.
Yeah.
In small doses, from what I understand, you don't want. You usually don't buy products that have a lot of coconut oil, a lot of palm oil.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a drop. It's
Right.
like
Right.
there's nothing in there. The P-Nug, by the way, is your website. The P as in purple, P-Nug as in nugget, 1G. If you want to go check it out, lots of great stuff there.
Yeah.
.com. Jake, I'm wondering, like, okay, so we're talking about the tea that you have there. What's next on your radar in terms of products? Like if you could just, take a pen and just go, that's the one I'm going to do. I'm going to make that next. Is there anything that's floating out there in your mind?
I can tell you which one we just cut off was the dog treats. We were going to go down the market for dog treats, but once again, we were finding that with allergies and like what you have to use to make the dog treats, we found it just so much easier to use this oil and to put it on the current dog food or pet food that you're currently using. And we found that to be not only like just easier all around for manufacturer, but it's just like easier on the pet. We found some
Wow.
treats are either kind of overboarding or underboarding, and also with different animals and like their routine of eating. Like sometimes they're on like a little bit of a different diet depending on the animal. This way, it doesn't change up their diets. We've had results from other CBD dog treats where they said it gave the dog stomach problems. And then after not only would I test the dog treat, I'd find out that the dog treat is actually a pretty good treat. It's actually really healthy, and that the actual only problem was that the dog just it wasn't used to those type of ingredients of the food. And so that kind of made us step back and kind of think of like, well, the last thing I want is somebody to give my dog treat to a puppy. I keep saying dog, it can be anything. I just happen to have a pooch myself, so that's what we tested on. But it's like the last thing I want to do is to make somebody's animals sick due to their diet routine. So that's why I find it so much easier is to take the tincture, put it on their current dog food. And that's what really has been helping a lot of pets maintain, less stress level. I can't remember what they called it when they separation anxiety. That's what we're kind of fighting.
Yeah.
Also, that's we've had problems with pets where they go get the haircut or they go to the not the I don't want to not the breeder,
The groomer.
where the pamper or whatever.
The groomer. Yeah.
Groomer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously the CBD really helps calm the animal down before they do all that.
So I just learned something right here, Jay.
Sure.
I thought there were specific formulations that needed to be done for pets, but from what I'm getting from you is all these companies are just making certain treats and then just putting the regular CBD in it that you and I a human would be ingesting, right?
As always, some companies are better than others, but you got to watch what you're. Yeah, like you said, you got to. Like they said, some companies are doing that, and they're not really caring about what they're putting in for the dog treat. They just want you to have that CBD hype word to thinking that you're giving your dog something healthy.
But it's the same CBD that you and I would be taking, right?
Yeah, it'd be the same. I think it's the same CBD that we'd be taking. I can't
Yeah.
imagine that they would be cutting it down or doing anything less just for an animal.
Huh. So would you, like you say, you pointed out the tincture there. What would the dose be for, let's say, a dog? Like, how would you know?
So just a couple drops. That's what I typically start with. We had a Yorkie, which is probably under 7 pounds, which is my sister's dog, and I think she did 5 drops in the dog food, and she ended up getting a bow in the dog's hair, which is like the first time the dog ever was calm enough to get that type of a grooming. So that was only 5 drops. I wouldn't go full vial with something like that. I mean, I wouldn't I wouldn't try to like, go melt as the same amount that you're taking. At this point, you're just talking like a couple drops. And maybe I should probably put that, as a warning, or maybe, like I said, we're just trying to think about this and like an easier way to kind of, help the animals get the CBD too. But maybe you're right. Maybe when it does come to the actual production of it, we should probably put a warning on there saying like, for like weight regimens on how much you should give your animal for sure.
Yeah, yeah, but if you know what, the bottom line here is that it's the same CBD that
Yeah.
we're taking. All it is other companies are putting it in certain dog treats and I guess making it look like, oh, this is just for dogs. This is a
Yeah.
special formulation. No, it's the same CBD. We actually have instant feedback. Jenna checks in from Chicago and says, "Can CBD be used for cats?" I think you might have said that before, like any animal.
I think I haven't tested it on a cat yet. I don't have a cat, but I believe that it'd be just as safe for a cat as it is for a dog. If you'd like, I could do some research, and maybe next episode I can answer
Sure.
that question with a little more lethargic and a little more answer. But I believe it's going to come down to like the weight regimen and whatnot of the animal.
Right.
It's not that you could ever really overdose or like really hurt the animal. I don't imagine so. But you can definitely go past the point of grogginess where you're just kind of taking like that extra life and spark out of the animal, and I don't want that. I don't want my dog just to be a lump on the floor. I want to be able to play with my dog. I want to be able to play fetch with Nova. I want her to do everything that she can do as a young dog, as an old dog. The last thing I want to do is just make her a blob on the floor. But
Yeah. Yeah. And like we say the same thing if you're a human and you take too much CBD, it's going to make you tired. And
yeah,
then you cut back on, like I just said before, I took too much on the sleep side. You just cut back on the dosage and you should be good. So, in terms of you growing hydroponically, you're still growing indoors, but now you've branched off to growing outdoors as well.
yep. This will be the first year that we start growing outdoors. We got over an acre. I don't want to say it wasn't donated to us, but leased to us to grow hydroponically outdoors. The point of that is, for one, I want to see the testing difference between my skill set on the hydroponic side and also growing outdoors. Because if I can get another harvest by using the natural sunlight to get my plants, it's just going to save energy all around.
Mhm.
But another thing is that I want to start studying the fibers of hemp. As we all know, they used to make hemp rope, hemp plastic, and hemp everything. I want to start looking into businesses that are trying to utilize hemp for that very reason. And this way I can grow it at a larger scale.
Interesting. So, I'm always thinking, so I'm wondering here, could you grow it and from the same plant extract what you need for CBD, but then the other part of the plant use it for other production like ropes and things like that?
I'm going to find out this year.
Okay.
I know that typically they go for the male plant because it grows taller. And I know they also do some plant training to get it like 10 feet tall, because most of the fibers that they need is in the stalk itself, not so much in the flower. I'm going to try to see what differences I can kind of see this year. I mean, that's what it's all about,
Hmm.
growing, pushing yourself, seeing, hey, if it works this way, can I use it this way or whatnot? So yeah, it's gonna be a
Wow.
pretty interesting year. And I love it. I gotta say, I mean, all these products are great, and I love helping everybody with it. And that's such a special part of my life that I never thought I would get to like really see and experience. But growing cannabis, growing CBD is just, it's amazing. It just blocks out all my, I don't know, negative thoughts throughout the day. And like when I'm out there just working with it, that's just where all my passion really is at. And I mean, like I said, I love helping people too. I love all the products of it, but growing CBD is
Yeah.
definitely my skill set.
Well, you certainly have the passion, and the part that we love the most is it's in the passion for the growing.
Yeah,
Yes, you're a businessman. Yes, you have a company. But it all starts, as we always said, it starts, call it the seed. That's, the beginning. And if you don't have a quality growth, and from that very beginning, you're not going to have a quality product. And I think so many other companies, they outsource it, they get it from somewhere, they change the label. This is, for lack of a better description, it's homegrown. It's
there we
happening
go.
right over there.
And it's fine that you say that. I used to think that because I'm so small that it would bother me as a company. But honestly, this is what I think a lot of CBD companies need to kind of bounce back at and see how it's grown, how well is it grown. That's where it all starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the actually complete opposite of, these big companies. And my friend, excuse me, who I mentioned before, that stopped taking it and then realized, you know what, it was actually helping me.
Yeah.
She's buying it from somewhere. I don't even know where she's buying it. Apparently it's effective, but I looked at the website and I don't know. There's no lab results. There's nothing that, how do I know? And same thing for her and same thing for other people. How do you know what you're even buying until you buy it? And then if it doesn't work, then was it you? Did you not take enough? Did you not take it properly? Was it the product? Was it the company? There's so many variables there.
Go on our website. All of our COAs are public. If you want to see how everything that's the way it's tested or how strong everything is, we don't lie about anything. All of our COAs are right on our website. You can find everything right there. So.
COA, just for everybody, is certificate of authenticity.
Yep.
Okay, I just took a guess at that. But yeah, super cool. So what's your day like? I mean, how often are you bottling or packaging products? Is it going like phases for you?
It's getting busier now. So we do the farmers market every Saturday in Appleton, and now we just got picked up in Green Bay for every Wednesday. So it's pretty busy. Every day is I think every other day we got an online sale coming in, so it's going pretty good that way.
Cool.
Yeah. Every day is a little bit busier, which is always a good thing.
Would you say the tincture is probably your biggest seller?
That's in the cell, but the capsules are, like I said, I've been turning people a little bit away from gummies and onto like the easiness of just the capsule. I think that's really been helping a lot of people. So I think the capsules are kind of stepping in. But honestly, my cell really is the best seller. The tincture, it's great, and I think it's just, I don't know if it's just because there's so much other of it available. I'm not really sure what I need to do to like kind of get those cells up a little bit, because it's a great tincture, but maybe just because the cell really speaks for itself, it's just been helping so many people. And that's really where it started, was the cells and the capsules.
Wow.
So maybe that's why the cells are where it's at.
So just a minute left, but I'm curious, the capsule versus a gummy, since they're both ingested, would they take about the same amount of time to get into your system?
I don't know. I guess I wouldn't know the digestive tract of it. I would say the CBD would be a little bit faster because it's got to break down all that sugar, all the glucose or whatever else they put inside the gummies. I can show you the recipe for it, but I imagine the body's going to have a tougher time breaking down all that, on natural stuff than versus the CBD pill itself.
Yeah, interesting. And I had gummies. That's where I first started, and it would take a while. Like it could take anywhere from, on the minimum 40 minutes to feel something, up to, let's say, a couple of hours.
Oh, well, then my pills win. It's like 20 to 30 minutes.
And there you go. All right. Jake, always great talking with you. It's the pnug.com. That's the website, the pnug, as in purple nugget, 1G, pnug.com. So many great pieces of information up there, and you do a great job. I learned so much from you, and I thought I knew a little bit about CBD. You're like the master of that.
Hey, Steve, you're making me learn a lot more about myself too, so that's good.
Well, you know what? Every day's a lesson, and one thing I learned today is I'm going to start taking CBD as just as a daily kind of thing and see what it does. Yeah.
Well, let me send you that tincture. You can start with that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. Curious what it tastes like with the coconut oil. Awesome. So let's catch up again soon, and happy growing.
All right. Thank you.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.